Henry was a product development manager leading the development of a groundbreaking new product in the engineering industry. As Henry's team was overwhelmed by the demands of managing this big venture along with many smaller ones, the CEO of the company hired an executive to oversee all projects. The new leader looked great on paper, spoke the lingo, and seemed like a good fit. Unfortunately, that was not how it turned out. Month after month went by, and every milestone for Henry's project was missed. The CEO kept hearing, "It's those guys in development," from the new executive. The truth? The man was in over his head, wasn't as knowledgeable as he reported himself to be, and so felt he had to prove himself as the smartest person in the room. He was competitive, sarcastic, and controlling, demanding that the team develop the product in ways that just weren't going to work. When Henry and his colleagues would make other suggestions based on their collective experience, he would override them. So what did Henry do? Nothing. Henry was entrenched in fear, so afraid of rocking the boat that he deferred to somebody with less expertise, even though he knew his knowledge was correct. To feel safe, Henry depended on his boss to tell him what to do, and so he kept quiet. You might guess what Henry's indicator showed when he completed it: high in approval-seeking, dependent, and avoiding behaviors. Faced with the truth of what was driving his behavior, fear, Henry had a breakthrough. In a session with us, he explained that he was the same way at home with family and friends. He kept smoothing over challenges in his marriage and strife with family members rather than dealing with them directly. Anxiety, depression, and insomnia were defining his life. They felt normal to him. Yet that was not the way he wanted to live. "I'm creating a lifestyle of lies," he suddenly announced in one conversation. We still use that phrase today. "I'm actually lying to myself. I'm lying to others. I don't want to be like this anymore." It was a tough day for Henry when he finally walked into his boss's office to have some carefrontation. Unfortunately, it did not go well. Nor did Henry's next two attempts to discuss the situation. His boss was consistently unwilling to listen to Henry's concerns and appeared aloof and distracted, even answering text messages while Henry was speaking to him. Henry left the third meeting feeling saddened and frustrated, and knowing he had to do something more about the situation because it was his responsibility. He realized that if he didn't, he wouldn't be true to himself, his team, the project, or the company's investment. 2 days of mulling led to him stepping into the courage to be authentic, knowing he had to be the one to change the situation, and he organized an appointment with the CEO. The next day, Henry, a little apprehensive, walked into the CEO's office and said, "Could I be authentic with you? I need to explain what's really going on." A tough moment, but it might have been one of the most important days of his life. It was the day he began to trade up, away from fear and into authentic and transforming. It wasn't an easy journey, but today Henry is one of the most straightforward and honest people you'll meet, with himself and others. He's a man of integrity in difficult moments. He's always looking for opportunities to develop, to learn more about himself. He's also less anxious and more confident as a person, a partner, a parent, a leader. A man who used to live in fear now helps others find the courage to be their true selves. That's real truth, not lies. Recap: authentic and transforming. If you scan the Heartstyles model from left to right, authentic and transforming are the first two ATL styles you see. Why? Together they catapult our self-awareness. That's why these two styles are next to each other on the indicator. They're the heart in the heart plus smart of the humility personal growth quadrant. Reliable and achieving are the smart part. Next chapter. When we are truly authentic, real and transparent, and transforming, continually learning and developing, we're honest, not just with the world outside of us, but also with ourselves. By overcoming fear in particular, we develop the courage to acknowledge our opportunities for growth without it affecting our sense of who we are. Operating in authentic and transforming styles means